Welcome to Hot Solar Water. Today we're going to show you how to connect the Lochinvar installation kit on the LSP20 Plus commercial solar water heating panel. The installation kit must be connected after the extension kit. If you have any questions, please click on the links below.
I'm now going to show you the components you receive in the installation kit. From the previous video, you see that the installation kit are the components that you fit at either end of the bank of panels you've just installed. The extension kits are used to join the panels together, and then once that's been completed, you then connect your flow and return pipework to either end of the bank of panels, and this is the kit that you need to do that. So within the kit you get a series of clamps, and the clamps are used to connect the components to the various parts of the collectors. On the return side of the bank of collectors, where the return pipework's coming back to the bank of panels, you get the return connection. On the flow from the bank of collectors, you get the flow connection. There's two sections of the panels that get blanked off. The bottom right hand side of the bank gets blanked off with this blanking piece, and on the top left hand side of the bank of panels you get another blank, but it does actually have a small little air bleed on it as well because it's at a high point, and you'll see that you can actually undo that and just release a little bit of air if need be to assist with filling. You also get a bleed screw that goes on top of the flow section of the connectors. That goes onto the collectors, onto the bank of collectors. That's your flow pipe work, and then you have this bleed point, and you get a little radiator sort of bleed key with that as well. You of course get a series of O-rings as well, the clamps similar to the extension kit, and you get a tube of heat paste. Now it's advisable to put some of this on the threads of the fixing screws just before you screw them into the clamps. You also get a couple of cable ties just to secure the sensor cable that goes into the collectors, which I'll show you that connection again on the panels. And you get this that just sits over the entrance to the where the sensor goes into the side of the panel, and it just secures it in place and stops it dropping back out. So that's the components you get in the kit. Now we're going to watch them being fitted to the bank of panels. Okay, so we're going to now look at the installation kit. The installation kit's used to connect the flow and return pipework to the panels once you've joined them together using the extension kit. So we looked earlier at the components that you get in the kit, and a good tip is, as you can see, I've laid out the components into the area that we're going to be fitting them, rather than you looking and trying to find all the individual bits out of the box. It's good to lay them out like this. So if you come round and look at the panels, you'll see if the far end's the top of the array, then typically what we'll do is return at the bottom left of the bank of panels, and then your hot flow comes from the top right hand side of the bank. So return in at the bottom left, flow out on the top right. The other two connections on the other sides get blanked off. The blank at the top left also has a little air vent because it's the top of the bank of panels, and you could get air forming at that top bit, so we need to release that when we're filling the system. So we'll start first of all with the return connection down at the bottom left hand side. So if we go down to there, you'll see it's the same principle as before with joining the panels together. We have an O-ring. The bit that we're going to be connecting onto has the recessed part, and then the fitting itself has the flat face. So you would put the O-ring in, and then we're going to hold that up against there and use the clamp to secure it in position. You also get a support sleeve, and that's because we need to really tighten that compression fitting well So these are 22 mil pipe work. So you put your sleeve in, and then the 22 mil pipe work just slides over the top of that sleeve, and it just gives the copper pipe some more support as you're tightening that compression fitting. So I'm just going to leave that there, but you would put that into your pipe, the end of your pipe work, and push that in like that. So as before, you will hold this up to there. Then you put your clamps on. Do the screws finger tight first of all. And once you've done that, you would of course then tighten that clamp up with your Allen key, and that's your return from the system back from the pump station to the collectors. I'll show you how the liquid flows through the collectors once we've installed the whole of the installation kit. So we'll go up to the top section now. So this section gets blanked off. You do get a set of instructions with the kit as well, and it shows a nice picture of where all these components go. So now, O-ring in. Got a blank here, which you hold up against there. And as you can see, it's got a little thumb tight air bleed, so you can just undo that, and when you fill in the system, it just aids get rid of some of the air out the top of the circuit. Then when you're finished, you just tighten it back up again. So you put your clamps on. And just to speed things up, I won't fully screw them all the way down, just enough just to hold on to it. Again, of course, you would tighten these fully up with your Allen key. Now that's a blank end, and we'll describe how the fluid flows through the panels in a minute. So if we go over to the flow side at the far end, this is going to be your flow pipe work, and there's a connection at the top there, and in there goes a little air vent, a bit like an air bleed on a radiator, and you get included in the kit a little radiator key as well, bleed key. And of course that's the main point that we're going to assist to remove the air from the circuit when it's being filled. It's the fitting itself that has the recessed part, this bit, so you put the O-ring in there, hold it up against the flat face. This of course is flat because if you were joining another panel, this bit needs to be flat because the other panel would have the recessed bit, so this bit has to have it now. So you hold that up against there, put your clamp on, and also remember to put your heat paste onto the thread of the fitting like before.